This is DJ RJ of Reggae Evolution inviting you to tune in Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We'll have interviews with Savi and Dartanyan Winston, plus we'll pay our respect to Frankie Dancehall Paul. That's Tuesday night on Reggae Evolution, right here on KAZI. Once again, Dartanyan, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Hey, now I hear you.
All right.
I tell you, these old analog phones, they work sometimes.
Yeah. Analog, old school.
Yeah, so thank you for making time to speak with us tonight. You got a new...
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Anytime.
You got a new project on the road.
Yes, sir.
I still can't say the name of the album, so maybe you can help me.
It's Dubocalypse. It's apocalypse with dub. So it's like a apocalyptic dub album, if you will. It's a lot of tracks on there that were mixed a few years ago for a Dub Master Voyage project, which got scrapped. And I wanted to make a dub album because at that time I used to read a lot of the Bible, and my favorite book was the Book of Revelation. So I always wanted to make like an apocalyptic dub album based off that book. So you're getting that here. We have Dubocalypse coming out, and we have the sequel to Dubocalypse called Dubocalypse coming real soon as well.
Okay, so let's back up for a second, Dartanyan. For those of our listeners who may not have heard our last interview, that was a year or so ago, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, it was about it was about 2014, maybe 2015.
Wow. Okay, so 2 years.
Yeah, because we had an interview for Dub Master Voyage, and then I came out with another album called Free Dub, which was kind of like a spooky Halloween type dub album, and then I think we didn't do anything for the following year, and now we're coming out with Dubocalypse. It was all because, over the time I was, really, when Sly Robbie and Guillaume Bougard, when they call me their Padawan, like that's what they mean. Like they're teaching me. Guillaume Bougard, he's a very humble man. He actually gave me an opportunity to work with them when he, I wasn't even at my peak of being a mixing engineer. Like I kind of knew about it, but I didn't know everything that I know now. So Dub Master Voyage and Free Dub were kind of like albums I was still, getting trained by them. And, like Guillaume, he'll tell me like, listen to this song and, try to, mimic your mixing style as this album. He'll like let me, he'll tell me to listen to albums like Sensimilia by Black Uhuru. That was like a good one. Red, anything basically that was like Black Uhuru or anything that was, Sly Robbie, of course, he would tell me to listen to that because he would want me to mimic their styles better. And over time, I started to, teach myself and learn from watching videos and people who were humble enough to, just teach people what they know. And I learned from different people and, I finally obtained the skills that I have now. And I brought that to Free Dub, which not Free Dub, I'm talking about Dubocalypse. I finally obtained the skills to actually mix an album that, is good for the ear, and Dubmaster Voyage was a little bassy. Free Dub, it was better. So you can actually, if you actually listen to all 3 albums, you can actually hear my mixing skills being better.
I'm definitely hearing that. I'm definitely hearing that. And Dartanyan, can I ask you one favor, if you could just back up just a little from your phone? It's a little bit distorted on your on coming into your phone, I think. But
no problem. How about this? Is this good?
That's a little better. Yeah, thank you.
All right, no problem.
So this is your 3rd album with Sly and Robbie, is that right?
Yes, it is.
And that must be pretty exciting. I mean, this is you're on a roll here.
Yeah. I always turn in stuff to Guillaume. So we always stay in touch. And I'm always showing them hey, do you like this? Hey, how does that sound? And they're always guiding me and letting me know hey, you're doing a good job.
Nice.
Just keep at it. And then, once we have, the sound that they're looking for, then we'll come out with an album. And this time, we really took our time because, we really didn't want to keep giving you guys the same sound, which was if you listen to the mixes on the first 2 albums, the ideas of the mixes were good, but the product of, the actual, the mix, it wasn't really as professional as, it should have been. So you get that on this project now, in the future projects, because, now I'm, I was really doing my studying and I was wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I would see in some of these mixing programs and I wouldn't use, and now I'm using them. And in this project, I was actually going back and, fixing stuff, and it was taking me a while, but I finally got it down packed. And, now we're going to be releasing more stuff this year, actually.
Nice. And I have the technical question I have for you that I really remember from before. Are you still mixing in Adobe Audition?
No, actually, after me and you had that interview, I started using Pro Tools.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because you said something about Pro Tools. I'm you know what? Everyone's talking about Pro Tools. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. And there were some sound effects on there that I was wow, it kind of reminded me of the sound effects that scientists use. And, at that time, even now, I'm still a big Scientist fan. So, yeah, I started mixing a lot with Pro Tools. And actually, some of the songs, if not probably all of the songs that's on Dubocalypse, are some of the songs that I mixed that year. I started on them that year. So these songs were started back in 2014. And after a while, I was doing other things, and I had a 2-disc album that I tried to turn in, a whole bunch of tracks, and what happened was my hard drive crashed before I can turn it in, so everything got erased. It was deleted. Ouch. So I decided, it was it was a little devastating, but I decided to stay positive about it, and I ended up finding these tracks on my hard drive. They were mixed to my old standards, so I decided to mix them in with my new standards of mixing, and I upgraded them, and now you have Dubocalypse on all platforms. But I would like to also tell people that we have the HD edition of Dubocalypse, which is on our Bandcamp, Taboo One Bandcamp, or you can look it up in your search engine. You type in Sly and Robbie Dubocalypse HD edition, it'll pop up on your screen. The HD edition is what I turned in later down the line, because pretty soon we're going to be releasing a Roots Radics album, and I was, it was a vocal album, and Guillaume, he's very particular on how he wants his albums to sound. Like, he's not like your average producer from Europe. You know, like, he likes his stuff to sound like the Jamaican mixes. He wants them heavy, but he wants them clear, you know. So I would turn in some stuff, and he would be like, yeah, you know, make the vocals sound like this, turn the bass up, make the, you know, snares fatter. You know, he wanted that hard sound, but he wanted clarity as well. So I did that to the first album, which is the vocal album, and that one is we're calling it Livication, and there's going to be a dub album to that called Dubocalypse. And so I'm listening to the vocal album, and I'm like, well, you know, the vocal album sounds really, really good. But the dub album doesn't really hold any weight to it. And, you know, you want to have your, you know, if your vocal album is real bassy and, you know, the drums are fat, you're going to want the dub album to sound the same, if not at least a little bit harder, because, you know, it's dub and that's what it's known for. Right. So I decided to, you know, I decided to go back to the Dubocation album and do the same. And, you know, I'm listening to both of these albums. I'm like, man, this stuff sounds great. Then I go back and I listen to Dubocalypse. I'm like, you know what? This could sound a little harder too, and I can actually tweak it a little better and make it sound a little better. So I asked Guillaume, I'm like, hey man, do you want to just, you know, push Dubocalypse back a little bit and release the, you know, Roots Radics album? He said go for it. But you know, Guillaume, he's a busy man, so he forgets things pretty quickly, you know, because he's always busy. He's always doing something. So he must have forgot that he told me to do that. So and I ended up remixing the songs, and it took me about 3 days. And I emailed him. I was like, hey, good news, man. You don't have to push the album back. I already have it done. I'm about to turn it in to you today. He was like, oh, man, I already released it. So I was like, oh, man. I was like, hey, you know, I was like, can you just throw it on the Bandcamp? I was kind of like nagging him about it, you know, because, you know, the HD edition, I mean, if you like the normal edition of Dubocalypse, which is sold on all platforms, you know, iTunes, wherever you get your digital music from, that's where it's sold. But if you like that version, you're going to love the HD edition. Okay. I mean, there's just so more added to it. I mean, the bass is heavier. The drums are fatter. It's everything that you would want in a dub album and more. And, you know, and I went back and, you know, I redid the sequel, and that's probably going to be coming pretty soon. So I'm very excited about the releases that are coming out this year.
That's awesome, man. You should be. So tell me about this track here. We're listening to this track called Good Evening. What do you put as far as how many hours into one track until you get it to where you want it?
Oh man, see, it's interesting because well, I started on these tracks. Good Evening. Well, Good Evening is actually a track that I did recently, and I could work on a track all day, but I don't really like taking breaks from a track. I like to keep it going. Like if I open up Pro Tools and I'm mixing a track, Pro Tools stays open pretty much till the track is finished. Okay. I might eat a little lunch, sip some tea, but I like to stay in there because I always have this mindset, and I really don't want to get drawn away from it. But you know, sometimes if I do, like, you lose it. It's kind of like when a songwriter writes a song. You know, you might get that little writer's block. You know, go have a breather, get some lunch, and come back, and you're back to doing your thing. It's kind of the same thing with me. So I like to, you know, stick. If I'm on a song, I like to stick with it. Gotcha. You know, so I mean, sometimes it might take a few hours because a lot of the sound effects that I use for the songs, I try my best to use the instrument. So if you might hear a weird or something, that might be the snare, like, you know, something weird. And you know, I listen to so many different dub masters, like from Michael Rubin Campbell, who mixed Aswad's A New Chapter of Dub. Paul Smykel, I'm a big fan of Paul Groucho Schmeichel, Scientist. I love Scientist, and just so many others. King Tubby. I love them all. I listen to them all, and I study every last one of them. So if you kind of listen to my style of mixing, it's kind of like a collage of all of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would like to say.
So we're gonna take a little break here, and we're gonna come back here in just a minute, and we're gonna cool down the pace.
All right.
So we're speaking with Dartanyan Winston, and he is a dub engineer out of Detroit, and his new project is called Dubocalypse, and it's out on the Taboo One label with Sly and Robbie. All right, we'll take a break and we'll come right back here. Dartanyan Winston with us on the phone.
All right.
Les belles paroles ne changent rien. Ça fait seul.
A little French action there, huh?
Oh yeah, that's Khalifa.
Ah, okay, Khalifa. He's out of Paris.
Khalifa. Yeah, he's from France, and he's a very wonderful artist, man. I'm hoping that they do some stuff with him again real soon. The material that we used for that album was from his. I think it came out in 2012. Oh no, it came out in 2013. It's called Riot Point 13.
Okay.
It was a great album. Half of it's in French and half of it's in English.
Okay, I'll have to look him up and look into him some more. I know I've played a couple things from him, but it's been a while. Let's see.
Yeah, there's a few tracks on the Dubocalypse album that's on that album. Good Morning, Protest, Riot, and Good Evening. Oh, and Sinner's Remorse.
Gotcha. Okay. Next, I want to talk to you about the Gregory Isaacs track, and I want to play the track. And
all right,
this is, in my opinion, one of Gregory's biggest tracks. I don't know, maybe just one of my personal favorites, but I know a lot of people love this song. What do you want to tell us about this song that you got the opportunity to remix it?
Cool down the pace. I would absolutely agree with that. The Night Nurse session of Cool Down the Pace, man, I always feel like, man, something must have been in the air, because everything about that song is just perfect. Like from the synthesizers to the piano. I mean, like, there's always something to love about that track.
Yep.
And I want to give a big up to Godwin Logie, who actually mixed the Night Nurse album. He's a good Facebook friend of mine. Very funny guy, very humble man.
Nice.
And I just came about it because, Guillaume, I guess he felt that I was ready for those tracks. Guillaume is always, he's just a humble man. He's always, willing to give a person a chance or a shot at something if he feels that person is passionate about their craft and what they do. Very fair person. Like, I tell him, like, man, you have a spirit of African, because he's just like he's very passionate about African culture and preserving African culture. And he's always in some type of museum. He's always he's not really, I mean, I would feel that he would love to work with big people, because he has, from Gregory Isaacs. On the upcoming Roots Radics album, we have Gregory Isaacs, Horace Andy, John Carlos, the Mighty Diamonds. I mean, I can go on and on. But we also have other artists on there as well that you probably don't know about. And, he's that type of person.
Okay.
He's a fair person. He'd treat the little guy with just as much as respect that he would treat the big guy. And I'm a prime example of that, because like we were talking about earlier, Dub Master Voyage, you can hear, like, I had to drive to do what I had to do, but I wasn't quite ready, but he still gave me a shot anyway.
That's nice.
And the same thing for 3-Dub. And now that I was giving him the projects like Dubocalypse and Dubocalypse, he saw that I was getting better, so he felt like, hey, I think he's ready to take the next step.
And so before we play this track, tell me what was your thinking behind it when you went to recreate this thing? As far as what were you thinking, as far as what kind of sound you were going to give it to remix and redub it?
Just do my best and mash it up. It's like how Guillaume would always tell me, mash it up, make it hard, and just do it for the people. Do it for people who would appreciate a mix like this, because we already love the original,
right?
Cool Down the Pace. So I wanted to give you something that you are going to hear, and you are going to be like, "Hey, this is different. I like it because it's different." And because some people, they redo stuff, and it kind of kills the vibe.
Right.
And I definitely didn't want that. I wanted the complete opposite. I wanted some people to go, hey, maybe, possibly, you might like this better than the original one.
All right.
Although the original one is fantastic. So,
right,
I just wanted to, give them something different. Definitely something hard. And, if you're in the club or in your car or just got your headphones on, you can definitely vibe to it still, even though it's a, remake.
All right, let's hear it right now. Gregory Isaacs, and this is GreenLion, a dub mix of Cool Down the Pace.
Yes, sir.
La da da da. Oi. La da da da. Went to a dance last Saturday night. I was feeling tipsy and the mood was right. Sight a little data and a stepping at the corner. My gosh, 'cause I feel like dancing all night. But I said, cool down the pace for me, little woman. You're rocking it too fast for me. Lord of mercy. Cool down the pace for me, pretty woman. That's not how it should be, Lord. Said she would try, but she just don't know why. She keep on trying, but she can't get. I said she do it how she want, Lord. But I said, cool down the pace for me, pretty woman. You're rocking it too fast for me. Lord of mercy. Cool down the pace for me, pretty woman. That's not how it should be, Lord. She was rocking it too fast for me. Don't be in a haste, no, Lord God. Just cool down the pace, yeah. Cool down, cool down, cool down, cool down, cool down. Move a little slower. Went to a dance last Saturday night. My gosh, I was feeling tipsy and the mood was right. Sat a little data and a stepping out the corner. My gosh, 'cause I feel like dancing all night. But I said, cool down the pace for me, pretty woman. You're rocking it too fast for me. Lord of mercy. Cool down the pace for me, pretty woman. That's not how it should be. Boy, she was rocking it too fast for me. I told her, don't be in a haste, no. Oh no.
underwater bass. I love that.
Oh yeah. That's where scientist comes in. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of inspiration from different dub masters.
And Dartanyan, do you do any remixing yourself? Do you put any other keyboard parts on, or do you pretty much just deal with whatever that is on the tracks?
No. Matter of fact, there's an artist called, his name is King Ital Rebel, and he has an album out called Good Vibe. I did a song for him called Father God, Fadagad, and on that song I put some strings in there. But other than that, no, I just keep it as it is.
Gotcha. I was curious about that. Let's see.
And shout out to King Ital Rebel. He's doing his thing.
You got to turn me on to some of that.
Oh yeah, great artist, man. He's got a lot going on. He has a website and a business called Jamrock 5, JAMROCKBYBZ. I believe that's how he spells it.
Okay. All right, let's squeeze one more in here.
All right.
Do you have a preference from the album, or I was thinking the Bunny Ruggs tune?
Yeah, the Bunny Ruggs tune is yeah. Big up to Bunny Ruggs.
Yes, indeed. Bunny Ruggs, the former lead singer with Third World. And what do you want to tell us about this track? Tune in, dub out. Yeah. Tune in, dub out. Another special track I thought I had to put on the album. When I first started it out, it was an 8-track album with the heavyweight, and then we went back. And he told me, put some of the other guys on there too, because that's how good-hearted Guillaume is. Nice.
But when I saw this track, I was like, yeah, man, I have to do this, and just got to do my best.
All right, let's hear just a little bit of this, and we'll come right back to here in just a couple minutes. All right, Dartanyan, all right. Winston, the GreenLion.
Yes, sir.
For you, so you fit tune in till our morning. Tune in your Mrs. String. You know I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that, girl. You know I like it like that. Yes, tune in till the morning. Tune in your Mrs. String. You sure know how to groove me, yes. I like the way you move me, girl. You move me, baby, yes. Ooh, girl. Meet me at the corner. Down your avenue, yes. And I'll be patiently waiting there for you. So you be tuning till the morning, yes. Tune in your Mrs. String. Hey. You know I like it like that. I like it like that. You know I
nice, very nice.
Oh yes, man. I love that track.
I like how Bunny just did his own thing and just made it really smooth.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Stephen Cat Core from Third World is playing guitar on that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like Stephen Cat Core. Actually, another interesting fact. The first album that Guillaume ever released, or one of the first albums he ever released, was Stephen Cat Core's solo album, Uptown Rebel.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and there's a few tracks that him and Bunny Ruggs did with Sly Robbie as well. That they weren't released as of yet, but a lot of work that they've done together with Guillaume.
Cool. All right, sir. Well, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, or if they want to hire you, or they want to link up, how is the best way for them to find you online?
Oh man, you can find me on Facebook, either Dartanyan Winston, DartanYan Winston. I also have a page on Facebook, GreenLion Entertainment. GreenLion is one word, GreenLion Entertainment. I have a Twitter, GreenLion89, all one word. Instagram, GreenLion89. You can also link up with the Taboo family on our Bandcamp. Guillaume actually has a very interesting page on WordPress.
Okay.
Taboo One, very interesting guy, man. Very he writes pretty much about everything. So if you want to ever learn about the sessions he did with Gregory Isaacs, Horace Andy, you can go on there and read some stuff. But yeah, I have an email, DJWINSTON05@yahoo.com, or you can reach me at Gmail, GR33NLION89@gmail.com.
There it is.
Yeah, and I also have a SoundCloud, which is GreenLion Entertainment. So there's a few ways you can reach me. GreenLion Entertainment, GreenLion, Taboo One.
And do you still have those other interesting things that you did on your SoundCloud with, you had some dub from the Police and Bob Marley stuff? That stuff's still out there? People can check that out?
I believe the Police dubs are there. There's a few Bob Marley dubs that I did there. I actually did some disco mixes of Bob Marley recently, and I turned them into Sadella. She said she was going to have a listen. So hopefully she likes what she hears. Yeah, hopefully she likes it. And we can move forward with that. So there's a few projects. I had to take down the full projects. I didn't want to get in trouble. But there's a couple songs on there that they let me slide with, and you can listen to them from the Dub Wiser 1 and 2 project that I did a few years ago. But yeah, I have some vocal projects of Bob that I also did that I'm trying to get released publicly and legally. So hopefully that works out.
Nice. Well, Dartanyan, thank you again for your time, and it looks like things are going really well for you, and just keep going with it.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you all, and one love to Texas, and big up everybody in the Taboo One family, the whole Detroit city. It's all one love, man. Anytime. I love being on your show, and you're doing a wonderful job too, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah, wonderful job.
All right, Dartanyan Winston, the GreenLion. The new project is called Dubocalypse, Sly and Robbie, and some really nice tracks on there. We look forward to much more from you, brother.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be much more this year and in the near future as well.
All right, big ups to Guillaume for keeping it going. That's nice.
Yeah. Very blessed, very humble, and a good-hearted man. And if you're an artist and you're very passionate at what you do, I would say, link up with Guillaume. He'll probably give you a shot. He's a good coach.
Nice.
Fantastic person.
All right, sir. Well, we wish you all the best up there in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Always cool running.
say hello to my homeland.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Dartanyan, Winston, have a great night, brother, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. No problem, man. One love.
All right. Bless up.